Well, this video is going to be a bit different to my normal run-of-the-mill working around the property videos. Today, instead of work, I'm going to be going out and having a little play. Firstly, going to go for a ride on my street bike, the K1 BMW, and then I'm going to go for a dirt ride on my DR650 with a mate. Beast in again. Today is a little change of pace. I'm going to take off on the K1 BMW and go to we have a local motorcycle riding group. So I haven't had much chance to ride the BMW for a little while, so this is it. A nice sunny day on sunny Queensland, and we'll see if we can get underway. And hopefully not too much traffic. And we'll just make the best of it and have a bit of fun. Well, after a hearty breakfast at Gympie railway station with the Historic Motorcycle Club of Queensland, we decided to get on the road. Now, whilst it is a historic motorcycle club, there were a couple of ring-ins with modern bikes here, but generally everybody was just out for a good time. There was a Triumph 750 triple, the old Triumph Tiger here, a BMW with a sidecar, and of course my K1 BMW.
They're bringing it every time. Bring it all the time.
Well, once we were all mounted and took off, we headed north towards Qld, which is on the highway north of Gympie. It's about a 30-40 minute ride, and we firstly had to get out of town, which is not too bad from this angle. Gympie, of course, is very susceptible to floods, so, and being a hilly area, it's, all the major development is up on the hills, sort of thing, except for the main street, which is down in the lowest part of town and naturally cops it in a flood. But we managed to cruise along here until we got out on the open road, which went for about, as I said, about 30-40 minutes, and then eventually arrived for morning tea for a bit of smoko at Qld. Here we're just passing over the construction for the new motorway. It's going to bypass Gympie. It's causing a little bit of havoc around the outskirts, but luckily it's just skimming through the outer sections of Gympie and will greatly reduce the congestion in town, which is always a problem. Yeah, I made it.
Made it, mate.
Yeah. Always nice to know I got a mate. Highway riding is never as much fun as the twisty stuff, so as soon as we had the opportunity we turned off onto a regional road to resume our journey back home. There was the sidecar was waited behind to enjoy their lunch a little better, so the rest of us just took off and enjoyed the ride home. After the recent rains, the countryside all on the north of the Sunshine Coast here has been absolutely lush, apart from the places that got flooded, of course, which are decidedly muddy and brown. But generally speaking, the grass is almost fluorescent in colour, and the colours are quite intense because of the richness of the ground there. The ground itself is probably pretty well saturated now, and of course everything is going berserk. Well, here we are arriving back in Gympie, pretty much the same area we came out of. You'll notice on the right a lot of coal trucks and freight wagons and things on the train lines there. That's part of the rail museum. The main railway station where we started off is now a cafe and terminus for the Valley Rattler, which is a C-17 steam engine that gives rides to people out into the countryside on a regular basis. And there's quite a good deal of railway memorabilia here. The railway station has been turned into a really excellent cafe as well, so always a good venue, and it's quite an historic building on its own. Does not pick up passengers for the normal rail through Brisbane and points north any longer. Well, the whole Sunshine Coast area and surrounding areas as well were recently subjected to massive flooding and incredible rain. In my personal area, we got 1,000 millimetres of rain in 2 days, sort of thing. But look at the brown markings on the trees, halfway up the trees. That's where the flood levels went in Gympie, which are 27 metres in town, and it was really, really savage sort of stuff. No matter where you looked, you could just see mud lines on the trees. Now we're on my home stretch, so not far to go, and then home again. So I parked the van a little bit tight here, so it's a bit of a risky entrance here with a lot of very expensive paintwork on the side of the bike, and I was trying very hard to not scratch it because it was a big job painting this thing in the first place. So I took a couple of attempts to get it over the lip of the concrete there, and finally in and home. Finally getting to go for a dirt ride with my good mate Pete here. We're just going to head out for a gentle run in the bush. Time to get ready. Alright, gloves on, helmet on, boots on, ready to go.
Will the bike start?
I'll do it right. The ignition switches are hard problems.
A nice little series of waterfalls down through there.
This is so typical of a lot of the creeks around here. The floodwaters have come through it and just cleaned everything out, just ripped everything to bits. Bear in mind, these are not little old goat tracks. These are not a main road, but a full road for transit by cars. And faced with an almighty big steep hill, one of the problems you do face is if you pick up neutral halfway, then it all falls to pieces. Look out, here I come. One of the more easily traversable creek crossings that we've discovered here. This is the beaut part about having these, the DR650 Suzuki, is that it's commonly known as the tractor, and it's immense torque, plenty of power down low, as you'll hear here. This is Yabba Creek that runs through Imbil, and it's nearing the end of our short little journey, but just gives you a bit of an idea of the sort of damage done and the stuff carried down the river by the floods. You pay attention to the mudline high in the trees, and that'll give you an idea of the depth of the river here. And this is not the major river, these are just the little side creeks and things.
Pardon me,